What is going on, everybody? I'm out here in LA with Stephanie. We're getting ready for the Robotaxi event. That's not till tomorrow. But before we go to that, we're going to take an actual real Robotaxi. We have a Waymo coming. Now, you can see we're standing in the middle of this random spot. That's because the Waymo could not come to the place we were renting, the place we're staying at. The Waymo has a pretty, it's a decently sized geo-fixed area where it can only drive in a certain area. So there's the map of that you can see now. But we took a lift, which took us, 20 minutes or so? Yeah. About 20-minute lift over to here so we could be in the service area for the Waymo. And it was about $26, which is really expensive because it wasn't many miles, even though it was 20 minutes. And now the Waymo's coming to pick us up. This is also about $22, I believe it said. It's off the screen now. But it said the Waymo's going to be here in about 4 minutes, which is, a normal, reasonable amount of time to wait. We waited about 3 minutes for our lift. So the Waymo will be here soon. There will be no driver. This will be my first ever, real Robotaxi ride. No person in the driver's seat. The car, the AI, whatever, is doing all the driving. So I'll catch up with you when it gets here. Now, the app did have a pretty nice experience on how to get your ride. I planned it out before we got here. And the UI was pretty slick. It looked really nice, and it was easy to navigate. But like I said, we had to get into this area to allow it to pick us up. So we got a couple more minutes here. I'll catch up with you when we are in the Waymo. But here it is. It's pulling up. It looks really good. Looks natural. This video is brought to you by Joa, maker of premium Tesla and vehicle accessories. Claim your discount by using the link in the description below. So here we are walking up to this Robotaxi. Car will wait 5 minutes. I click this unlock button here on the app and that opens it up. Go ahead and hop in. Can I sit in the front?
Chris.
I'm gonna sit in the back.
It said hi, Chris.
Oh, hi, Chris. Thank you. I should say hi, Chris and Stephanie. What if I don't close the door and click start ride?
Please close all doors.
All right, cool. Smart enough for that. That's good. And then the button comes back up. And then I'll click start ride again. No seatbelt yet.
Waymo.
Oh, here it goes.
As we get
What
going,
the heck?
just give us 1 minute to cover a few riding tips.
Riding tips.
This
Dude, it's
experience
flying.
may feel futuristic.
25-minute
Buckle up.
Waymo
It's
ride.
the same as always.
Are you ready for that?
Keep your
I'm a little
seatbelt
scared,
fastened,
honestly, but
I'm not gonna lie. I thought I'd be more scared,
or expecting.
but it feels
Please
pretty
see the
natural.
seatbelt
It's
for
flying.
more information.
It's going
We'll
24,
do all
I
the
guess.
driving, so please don't touch the steering wheel or pedals during your ride. We may use interior cameras, check on riders, improve our product, and
This
more.
is crazy.
But our microphones are only
So did it get
on
down to
when
0?
we're
Oh, I couldn't see. The
connected
steering
to
wheel was in my way.
riders. So sing your heart out. We can't hear you. You can also use the app or passenger
I don't know.
I can see that.
Speak
I
to a
can see
rider's
that.
All right, see if it gets down to 0.
anytime.
It feels pretty natural to me so far.
Please keep your seatbelt fastened
0,
and
and then the creep. So 0 and then a creep. So that feels exactly the same as FSD. And then it slowly pulls out. This is wild. All right, what do you think?
Relax.
This is crazy. You have your backpack, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, it's on.
Yeah, this is really crazy. So
Yeah, this
go ahead.
it feels a lot like FSD.
Yeah.
But it's really, I'm not 100% comfortable right now. 'Cause
Yeah?
I'm just
Yeah.
but
Okay.
it's doing really good. It's earning my trust.
Yeah, it feels great. And I really thought that hopping in here, I'd be a little more nervous because it is super weird. But pretty much immediately it feels natural and normal. And I feel like it's going to do a good job. So red light here.
And look, if you want to get out, you can click pull over and it will stop.
Yeah, so you have options here. You can change. I should probably turn this music off so we don't get copyright strike or something. I don't know. I might have to cut that part because there was music playing. But yeah, so you can see that it sees this red light and it's waiting for it. So we definitely need to check out these visuals here. And it looks like you got the teal path is the planned path. Nothing's wiggling around like you got in FSD. The graphics are just amazing. I mean, can you move yeah, look at this. You can check out what it sees around you. So it sees a car back there, yep. And it has it really accurately mapped. This van that's kind of parked next to us, and then another car's pulling up behind us. Get out of here. Wow, this visual is really, really nice.
Gotta be honest, so far I like this a lot more than a Lyft or an Uber because you're not in somebody else's car and dealing with their music, their if they have the windows down and you know, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'm a millennial, so I don't want to inconvenience anybody else. Like I will, like, oh, I don't like the windows down, but I won't tell you I don't.
Yeah,
like
the lift here did a good job, but he had his windows down the whole time. It's not that warm, so. Yeah, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, definitely, it's nice. You're just kind of like have this little private thing. Man, this is a long red light. Oh no, you're good. Okay, so we got the red is done, and we go through the green. Wow, that's cool. It sees the pedestrians on the road. That one back there was a pedestrian standing next to. Oh, we still got our turn. Okay, that was a weirdly long turn signal. Oh, we were changing lanes. Sorry, I'm all over the place. There was a pedestrian standing next to a light pole, and it still picked them up. So check this out. There's a pedestrian there, but he's like sitting. They're like sitting next to this light pole, and it's still picking them up. That is pretty wild. So there's its turn arc. So it's not gonna turn into the rightmost lane. It's gonna go over a lane. Let's see. Wow. Pretty cool. Suppose if I put this here, I'm trying to think of the best camera angle. Oh my gosh.
This was way less awkward than I expected it to be.
This feels like a human. This feels great. This is crazy. All right, so we're moving up. We got a blinking yellow here. A little bit of weird braking there. I mean, I would pull up more than this. What about you?
Yeah, probably.
But we don't have to go. We're obviously yielding, so not that big of a deal. Oh, it's pulling up. Oh, what are you doing? Doing some weirdness. All right.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really good. I don't know why it turned a bit to the right, but that was very cool. I don't know. Part of me is blown away by how, like, good and human-like it feels. But part of me also feels like it's so similar to FSD.
Yeah.
In the way it's moving around. Just, again, the feel of the way the car is moving throughout the world is very similar.
But, like, if you were to take this car and put it, like, at our house in Michigan, like, in our town, it wouldn't be able to do anything.
No, because Google has to, or Waymo has to, like, pre-map everything and blah, blah, blah. But to be fair, if they were to plop it down and told it to go A to B, I'm sure it could maybe get there. But it's not possible. Well, yeah, I mean, just kind of like FSD. Like, it can sometimes do it without help, but it usually needs help. This is kind of the same thing. Like, okay, it's still red and you're moving. That's weird.
Oh, okay. I knew it was about to turn green.
Wow, that's crazy. It's also psychic. But yeah, so I'm sure they could plop it down and let it try, and it might do okay. And I do see Waymos now driving around Ann Arbor pretty frequently, but there's always a human in the driver's seat. I can't tell yet if the person in the driver's seat in Ann Arbor is doing anything or not. I can't see well enough to really be able to tell. Wow.
So what does it do when it runs out of gas?
Slowed for a dip in the road. No, this one's electric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are they all electric?
Yes.
Oh.
Now they are. Yes. The old Waymos were gas.
So what if it gets low on charge then?
Well, it goes back to home and they plug it in.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can't do that on its own. And it is still being watched. So that's like a good conversation, I guess, is like, you know, there's level 5 self-driving, which means there's no steering wheel, there's no pedals. A human couldn't even take over if they wanted to. Whereas in this, you can obviously see there is a steering wheel, there's pedals, but there's no human in the driver's seat. So a human can't easily take over if they want to. But the Waymo cars, the vehicles are monitored. And so if there is a problem, if it does get stuck somewhere or, you know, something happens it can't handle, the Waymo team will get a ping, or they'll already be watching. They can come out and then they can hop in and take over and drive away. So it's this kind of, you know, middle ground of like, is it level 5 or is it level 4? Because yeah, it's totally driving itself. This is extremely impressive. There is no human in the driver's seat. They go like hundreds of thousands of miles per intervention, something like that. But at the same time, it's still being watched by a human, and occasionally, very extremely rarely, humans do take over and help the car out. So, yeah, it's kind of more an argument for fun than anything, but it is something to think about. I also do find it weird that this is all exposed. So it makes me think, like, if Tesla did do some Robotaxi thing with like a 3 or a Y, which I'm going to be totally clear. I think that's very, very far away. I don't think it's happening anytime soon. But if they did, one of the big arguments was you can't use a 3 and a Y for a Robotaxi because they have a steering wheel and pedals that you can't easily remove. Well, there's a steering wheel and pedals right there. If I was a hooligan, I could reach up there and do something. I'm sure it would just slam the brakes, and geez, that acceleration's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sure, you know, it would have things to do to stop me from, you know, messing with it, but the fact is it's sitting right there. There's nothing in my way of interacting with that. And then another note I should put, this drive, like I said, it was about 25 minutes or whatever. Waymo in LA right now currently will not, so here's a stop sign.
Yep, it went to 0 again.
Yeah. All right. Very nice. Waymo will not use highways like FSD will. So I think they are starting highway trials in Arizona, maybe, or maybe in San Francisco or something. I'm not sure. But this Waymo right now in LA will not use the highway. So this exact same trip, even though it costed, it was a similar cost to something like a Lyft or an Uber, it takes longer. I think the Lyft estimated time was around 18 minutes. So this is about 6 or 7 minutes longer because the Waymo will not take highways. For me, I like that for this video. I want to see it, you know, highways are boring. I want to see it do other stuff. But so far we have a 0 intervention drive. Are you impressed?
Yeah.
Oh, this guy cut us off. Waymo does not flinch.
There's another Waymo.
Oh man, waiting to turn right. We are, what, 10 minutes into the drive or something? And I'm already like chilling. I'm posting on X. I'm not watching the road. You know, again, unlike Tesla's FSD supervised, I can text, we could talk, we can do whatever. We don't have to look at the road, we don't have to pay attention. I am looking a lot because I'm kind of, you know, analyzing it and seeing what it's doing. But I just realized like we're about 10 minutes in and I picked up my phone to start posting on X. So that's kind of how comfortable it is.
So like if you wanted to adjust the temperature and stuff though, the knobs are up there.
I think you can do things from
They
here.
have it on the menu.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so there you
Okay.
go. There's temperature. Are you cold?
Yeah.
So that's a good thought. So we should look at this UI here to show people. So there we go. We can turn up the temperature. So that's nice.
I think that, yeah.
What else do we got here? So map view, music, about this car, riding tips, camera privacy. So yeah, you can put whatever music on you want. If we click that, it just, okay, so that shows us our route. So we still got a little bit to go. We got one more left turn here, and then just a really long straight road. Yeah, and then yeah, also pull over or support if you need help. You can ask them for help. Is it nothing? I can't, oh, there. Yeah, it's nothing. There's nothing back there. When I took, I did a Robotaxi ride in Ann Arbor with May Mobility, but there was a human in the driver's seat, so it wasn't the same. They had a gigantic computer back there, like whirring and making all this so loud and making a bunch of heat and stuff. It's so funny. And the car still could barely drive itself. This, who knows where all the smarts are. They're hidden away nicely.
So who makes Waymo?
It's a spin-off of Google, or still owned by Google.
Okay.
I don't know exactly the exact relationship, but Google started Waymo.
Okay.
I think they're still part of Google, but they're their own, you know, subsection. The steering wheel's doing a little, I don't know, it's like kind of a weird back and forth. I can't feel it in the car. I just see the steering wheel like kind of wiggling around a little bit. I don't know if that matters or anything. It's just, I don't know. All right, so we got an unprotected left here. Let's see it. Feels great. I don't know, felt great. What do you think?
That's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, very comfortable. The turn was not too fast, not too slow. I don't know, man. Couldn't do it any better. I'm waiting for a big old phantom brake. I want this thing to just like slam the brakes out of nowhere. I don't think it does that, but that May Mobility thing I was talking about, it did have a phantom brake. This was years ago, so it's probably better now, but when I was in it, it was going down the road and a pedestrian walked towards the road, not in front of the car or anything, but the pedestrian was walking towards the, you know, the May Mobility car, and the thing hit the brakes so hard because it was scared of the person. And I asked the driver, I was like, whoa, what was that about? And he's like, oh, it's because that person walked towards us, so it was scared of them. All right, so here's what I'm always talking about with FSD lately, and how FSD, the speed slows, it decays, it goes too slow. The Waymo is doing this awesomely. The speed limit's 35. The Waymo is getting up to 35, and it's just hanging out at 34 or 35 miles per hour. It's fitting in with traffic, but it's also not. There are tons of cars in the right lane that are going much faster than the Waymo. They're speeding, they're passing us. The Waymo's not speeding. I don't expect it to speed. It's a robot car. It should be, following the law, but it's also not going 5 under or 10 under or anything like that. So the way it's moving through here, even though it is following the speed limit, it's maybe slower than some human drivers. It feels appropriate. It feels correct. It gets up to these speeds really quickly. Like, it gets to the speed it needs to get to almost right away. It decelerates really gradually and really carefully, but not late at all. So all of the way it accelerates and slows down and all that, it just feels so smooth and so comfortable. It's very impressive. A little wiggle there in the lane change. Is somebody behind us? Not really. Oh, there's a Waymo behind us. Check that out. Double Waymos together. It's so funny. That is just wild. So you can see all the spinning parts on the Waymo over there. Those are the LiDAR, which is something Tesla refuses to use. They say that it's not necessary, only cameras are used. Of course, Waymo uses radar, that's the big black square there, and LiDAR, and cameras. And there goes my phone. As opposed to Tesla's approach of using only cameras. So it is impressive that Tesla can do a lot of what Waymo can do. And you know what? Depending on how you look at it, I will be fair. Tesla can do a little more than Waymo in terms of where it can be used. Of course, you cannot use any Tesla without a driver. You have to always have the human as backup. But you can enable it, any person who can get a Tesla, you could rent one on Turo for $100, and you could take it wherever you want in the US, Canada, and you can just turn it on, and it'll work. You can even take it to other countries. People have kind of hacked it and made it work in other countries, even though it's technically not supposed to. And the results have been pretty impressive. So where Waymo works, no question. It is insanely impressive. It's obviously a real Robotaxi compared to what FSD is right now. But there are a couple of things that FSD can do that Waymo can't.
Oh, a blinking yellow.
Oh man, is it going to slam the brakes? Nope, it handled it correctly. Like, this deceleration, it's just perfect. Even going down a hill, man, it just feels so good. Now this visual, check it out. We do have some wiggling going on there. You can see like the base. So all the vehicles have this little tray under them to kind of show, I don't know, about their boundary of how big they are. And that one is wiggling all over the place. And I'm going to guess it's due to the fact that we're on a hill. And so that van in front of us is just a little lower than the Waymo is. And so the sensors are having a hard time picking it up. You'll see here, watch this as we level out. See, look at that, how it's not wiggling as much. So, even with all these additional sensors all over the place, we had them on the nose, on the front, on the back, on the corners, there are still slight blind spots depending on the make of the road and the positioning of the vehicles around you. So really interesting to see. Now, of course, it didn't cause any issues, but the visual did have, and even there as the van was turning, the visual does have a lot of kind of wiggle in it, which I wasn't seeing before. Wow, and look at that. The path just did something weird too. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it like jumped to the right. Again, that's something that I see with FSD. It's just so weird to see the similarities of these two systems, again, when this is like a driverless, no human in the seat, but maybe a human, watching on a computer Robotaxi, versus the car I own and can drive wherever I want. Seeing how similar they really are is kind of mind-blowing. So we want to make a lane change here, I guess. There is somebody behind us. I think it respected there was a solid white line there. I think it respected that before it made the lane change. So that's pretty good to see. A little weird braking there. The person in front of us was turning right and the Waymo kind of pumped the brakes twice. Man, not stopping for that pedestrian in the road. FSD definitely would have slowed down for that guy. But yeah, we had some brake pumping for the car stopping in front of us and turning right. Or I guess I should say slowing in front of us. So it's similar to FSD and the Tesla, where it's kind of calculating like, yeah, they're going to move out of our way, but they're currently still slowing down in front of us, so can we keep going? So just another similarity there. All right, we got a couple minutes left. We're in the middle of a right turn. What do you think of Waymo?
I'm impressed, honestly. It makes me, I don't know, like, I'm in such a Tesla bubble that I really, like, didn't know there was other stuff out there that was comparable to Tesla. I mean, I know this uses different technology and stuff, but, like, it's good. Okay.
As it slams the brakes, we got it. What do you think now? Oh my gosh, that timing could not have been better. Hit the brakes so hard. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm sorry, I hope it didn't stress you out too much, but I'm so glad we got it.
No, it didn't.
My seatbelt is still tensioned from
I
that.
think early days of FSD have, like, prepared me for that. I think, like, my mom probably would have screamed a little.
Oh, and another little mini heartbreak there.
Well, it's got all these little turns now that it didn't have before. So it's like, did it reroute at the last minute?
I don't know, but that was so good. I just cannot believe at the end of, can I use this front now? The end of the little Stephanie interview. It's like, yeah, it's pretty good. Oh! That was so good. So we did get a little phantom brake there. It's not the hardest phantom. Well, it's actually one of the harder brakings I've felt from a system like this, I should say. Yeah, it definitely did some weird rerouting.
It seems like it rerouted a little bit.
Yeah.
Because before it was just a straight line and then a turn. So it must have changed the route because of traffic or something.
Yeah.
And so it was like...
So, again, that's another thing I've seen in FSD, where it changes the route at the last second, it slams the brakes, and it kind of makes a last second turn. Waymo just did the exact same thing. It's so wild to me. So, I really go back and forth. I don't know what to say, because the fact is, I'm sitting in a car with no driver. It's legal, it's working really well, not perfect. None of these will ever be perfect, just like humans aren't perfect, but it's working really well. At the same time, the weirdness and stuff that I see with this, the way it compares, oh, give me my visual back. With the weirdness, wow, look at that. The way that it compares with the weirdness that I see in FSD is just kind of mind-blowing to me. It just makes me think Tesla's closer than I think they are, to be honest, but, you know. It's hard to say. All right, so we got our green arrow. Oh, a little wiggle in there. That's awesome. Yeah, dude, it's, and it goes. I mean, that's it. And the thing is if there's something I'm in here I'm not comfortable with, of course I can hit the little pull over button. But it's not like I can hit the brake and like, it's being kind of weird. I'm just going to take over here.
It's going around this car.
Yeah.
That's slow.
That's nice. Yeah, they were turning into that parking garage. I have to just sit here and let it do its thing. Oh, one.
Almost there. Don't forget your phone, keys, or bag.
Wow, it knows I have a bag. That's...
Safety. The doors will remain locked when we arrive. Pull the handle twice to exit. The first pull unlocks. The second opens the door.
All right, that's fine. And let's see, is it going to park here? This is actually something FSD can do. There's some garbage in the road. Oh my gosh, it ran right over that. What if that was a box full of nails? It would have ran right over it, flat tire. Pulled over, that's it.
Here. Please make sure it's
wow.
clear before exiting.
Very cool. Well, hope you enjoyed. We're out.
Yeah.
You'll see me and not Waymo in the next video. Let's see it drive off. It's just sitting here.
It's counting down.
So it doesn't run us over or something? Oh, okay. Oh, right next to that cyclist. Creepy.